John McLaughlin, John's the Elvis of pollsters. He really is. And I think, John, maybe you should start wearing an Elvis costume around when you do Fox News. Isn't that a great idea? Kind of say, hey, how are you? Thank you very much. How are you this morning, John?
I'm doing well, and I don't know about the costume, though. Just some other pollsters. By the way, whomever is running the Iowa caucus for the Democrats,
Lord.
they gotta have you talk about a failure. The Democrats can never, ever bring up Russian collusion or election fraud or anything ever again to the Republican Party. This
I know.
is like unbelievable.
Was this a concerted effort? Is somebody trying to hide Bernie Sanders' numbers that, like, we suspect, or is this a complete fail, John McLaughlin?
It's a complete fail by the party, and they try to be so woke and they try to be so cool that I mean, yesterday the stories were, Iowa, they got to move it because it's not diverse enough. I mean, what's crazy is the Iowa Democrat Party, they were going so far to bend over backwards to kind of do these things, they forgot to take care of the basic application of whatever their software was to make sure that they could get returns. And what's the tragedy of this is, now, putting partisan politics aside, the tragedy of this is candidates have spent months, if not years there, working people, building an organization, paying people, raising money, doing all these things in the good faith that there was an event yesterday that is not like an election where the states run it and you have government officials run it. This is a party caucus. The party runs it. So they had their candidates, everybody trusting them that they could pull this off honestly and efficiently, and they failed. And what's terrible about that is the trust. I mean, I was watching. I felt sorry. I was watching Amy Klobuchar speak last night because when they realized there's no results, they all have to get planes to New Hampshire to go. They got 8 days to try to win New Hampshire. She's giving a speech, and she looked like she was in tears, precisely because all her hard work had happened, and she didn't have a single vote to count.
I know, and
she doesn't know where.
What is Buttigieg? He goes, "You have shocked the nation." Pete, we don't have the results yet, sir. I just want to tell you, what was that all about? Shock the nation. What was it? Shock the nation because the polls didn't work. I mean, really.
We don't care what it is. Declare victory and move on. But prior to that, you hit the nail on the head. The Democratic establishment and the liberal media establishment are in a panic over Bernie Sanders and the socialists taking over their party. And they should be, because we've done polls earlier last year where the majority of Democrat Party voters, particularly their younger voters, think socialism is more fair than capitalism. That is a scary thought to think of, but that's where they are.
Yeah, you know what? And I hate to agree with them, but I said earlier, John, what happened if Bernie? And there's no way Bernie beats the president, but if there was a President Sanders, you're looking at Rashida Tlaib in the cabinet. You're looking at Ilhan Omar. You're looking at these anti-Semites, these anti-Americans in the cabinet of the United States of America, and the enemy is within now. I mean, can you imagine if that happens? But don't they look at Venezuela, John? Did you do any polls with that? Did the young people look at Venezuela and see maybe you got a little problem with socialism?
Well, I tell you what, they don't believe. I can tell you right now, we're in the midst of doing major research among voters who are under 40, millennials, Gen Z voters. They don't get the same information you do. And it's like, it's our challenge that we have to get this out there for.
Wow.
But I tell you, you know what the great thing is? The Democrats thought they were putting a trap on our president. They thought that instead of his job approval going over 50% and him being able to beat their candidates, Biden, they would launch this impeachment thing. Well, you know what? Their front runner, Joe Biden, is the victim, their collateral damage of their impeachment process. Where the stories about Hunter and the corruption in the Biden family, he when they reveal the numbers, whatever they were later tonight, I think he's coming in fourth place. He comes in fourth place in Iowa, whatever the unofficial or official results are. He's going to collapse in New Hampshire.
Wow.
And now you've got a situation where Bernie's base, the socialists in Vermont, will be driving over the state line to vote in New Hampshire next week. And they'll be competing with Elizabeth Warren's socialists who are driving over the Massachusetts state line. And New Hampshire about 8 days of socialism, where and we've got to get the story out.
Wasn't that a movie? 8 Days of Socialism. That sounds like a movie.
Right.
Oh no, 7 Days in May. Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, that's worse. So,
Hey, wait, hey, John. Let me tell you, the Des Moines Register, though, going back to Iowa, the poll just kind of went away. What was that? Was that because indeed Bernie scored high and Joe did not? Is that what happened? You think?
That's what the rumor is.
Yeah.
Because the reason they threw it out, that one interviewer didn't have Buttigieg on the screen because she was like visually impaired. So when you enlarged the computer screen for the interviewer to talk to the person, you couldn't see the name. That was bogus.
Oh my! Are you kidding me? That was the reason? Oh
That's
my!
Yeah.
Gosh.
So and it was brought up by it was a lame excuse.
Yeah.
And I tell you what their fear of is Bernie's got the troops, he's got a movement, and now most voters in the United States look at him and they think he's Larry David. They look at him and they say, okay, it's a funny guy, blah, blah, blah. He's from Brooklyn. And what you got is you got a guy who, I remember in 1982, when I worked for Arthur Finkelstein, I did a survey for NCPAC, the National Conservative Political Action Committee.
Yeah.
Bernie was running for mayor of Burlington, Vermont, as a socialist.
Wow.
And they wanted to stop him. And it came back, they couldn't stop him. And they were like, why? I said, well, a lot of the people in Burlington at the time were from Canada, and they accept socialism.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, Burlington's this little city in Vermont, and when you think about it, here it is. You got Bernie, who's the former mayor of Burlington, running against the former mayor of South Bend, and they're crushing the three-term mayor of New York City, Mike Bloomberg.
Unbelievable. Hey, so first of all, thanks for texting the president of the United States that I was going to be in Wildwood. Thanks for that, John. Did you really did that? Did you do that? I know you did.
Oh,
I can't say. We can't say because because I went down. I saw him and we said hi and it was great. But I didn't expect the shout out, nor could I bring myself to say as I was. He goes, "You going inside tonight?" Yes, Mr. President. Could you please mention my name when you get up there? I couldn't bring myself to say it.
By the way, he loves you.
Yeah.
And it's like, man. And the other part is when you think about it, it's like it was easy sell. But, the real reason is he has selfish motives, but don't tell Jerry Crowley or Frank Morano that he wants to run for governor, okay?
Yeah.
So if he gets reelected, you're going to be his pet project in New Jersey.
Boom. Hey, listen, anything could happen, brother. State of the Union tonight, John McLaughlin. I mean, all he has to he could just hit it out of the park. Will President Trump stay reserved? Will he stay restrained? Will he just rip it up? What's your feeling, John? You know the man better than anybody.
He has a lot of accomplishments to talk about, and that's what I'm saying. This whole impeachment trap is backfired on the Democrats. His numbers are going up. His job pool is going up. And in contrast to what just happened in Iowa, his speech tonight about his successes, the trade deals, the 7 million jobs created, the idea of America being safe defeating terrorism. Plus, he's got an agenda to improve health care, to improve education. He wants to talk about all those things. And tomorrow the Democrats will vote with, to try to keep impeachment alive. It's going to die, and the president's going to turn the page and put it behind us and look forward and tell the Democrats they need to get together and work with us to move the country forward.
John, so great. We have so much fun, and it's great to know you. Your knowledge is so appreciated on this program, John. And love to the family, and hopefully we get to see you real soon. Maybe I'll get to see you down there at the White House one of these days.
We will, but I'll see you up in New York when I'm home. But I tell you what, the thing right now, we got a long way between now and November. We can't take anything for granted, and we don't know who our opponent is yet.
Amen.
Because the Democrats have no clue who won Iowa.
He loves it. John McLaughlin, there's the man right there. Thank you, John.